been a while since I filmed a video. I just finished my first big event of the year. The event is called Crafty Wonderland Spring Market. Yeah, overall it went well. So for the last 3 months, I decided it was time to remake my booth setup because I finished last year feeling like my booth needed some serious work. The last couple of years, I've been trying not to make anything custom for my booth. I've been trying to buy pre-made stuff in an effort to save time, but by the end of the year, I just felt like the booth setup was not as efficient or eye-catching or as organized as it could be. So I just decided to bite the bullet and make everything myself because that's the only way I'd get what I want. So I spent the last couple months doing exactly that. So about 3 months ago, I started coming up with a new design for my booth, and it started with an 8-foot table. In previous years, I would start with a 10-foot by 10-foot space because I did a lot of farmers markets, but when I did Comic-Con last year, that's just an 8-foot table, and I want to do more of those types of events. So I decided to start kind of in a middle ground. The design that I came up with for my booth involves using my tabletop grid system, creating a whole bunch of yellow wood panels that I would hang with S-hooks, and then those panels would be used to display my art goods. Since these things don't exist in the wild, that meant that I would be making trips to Home Depot to buy wood and then cutting everything down, sanding things, and painting everything, and then having a custom yellow paint made from Home Depot, which is super nice because all you got to do is bring them a color swatch. They can scan that and then make a big bucket of paint for you. So I was able to get my brand yellow for all of these panels from Home Depot. I also used the most basic wood that I could find. It's lightweight, it's thin, which is important. I don't want something heavy and that takes up a lot of space. But that meant that I had quite a few panels to paint. And then that also means that I'd have to drill holes and glue pegs into those holes so that I could hang things from. Here's a little test that I did. One of the panels I finished up had the pegs, and you can see I hung it with the S-hooks, tested out one of my sticker packs. And then here's another test setup where I got quite a few more panels done. One of the big parts of this design was coming up with an eye-catching booth sign. So I decided that I was going to work with a sign company to have this made. This started with me coming up with a design and then sending it to them. They CNC'd the letters and the centerpiece out of acrylic, and then I brought that back home and spray painted everything the blue that I wanted and then put a top coat on everything. As you can see here, this is right after I installed an LED light strip behind the centerpiece. So then once everything was painted and the LED light strips were installed, I took them back to the sign company and they attached the letters and the centerpiece to the backer board. We got a little clicker here to turn the light on. There we go. Nice backlit sign. I think it's going to be nice and eye-catching. All right, it is early morning and I'm getting ready to drive out to the Crafty Wonderland Spring Market. The road's slow. It is time to head out. All right, guys. Wish me good luck. You too, Mikey. Wonderland was fun. It was a 10-foot by 5-foot booth space. So I designed everything to fit on my 8-foot table. It worked out really well for Crafty Wonderland. And the next event that I have is a 10-foot by 10-foot space. So I'll basically do the same setup for Crafty Wonderland, but I'll have a canopy, and I think I'm going to add some freestanding racks to the side, kind of make a U-shaped layout. One of the things I'm going to do for this next event is add more framed art. So we'll see how that goes. But I did notice after the Crafty Wonderland event was finished, I looked at previous years, so the last 3 years. Last year was not a good year for events, and that one in particular did not do very well. This one that I just finished with the new booth design, I'm pretty sure that the new booth design contributed to this, but like it was the best spring Crafty Wonderland market that I've done so far. So I think the booth contributed to that, which makes me happy. I also felt really good about the booth. It was easy to set up, easy to tear down, and I think it looked good and caught a lot of people's attention. Now that Crafty Wonderland is done, it's time to move on to the next event. Hopefully I can remember to film everything, because that's a new thing. I'm trying to do that. I tried to do that a little bit last year, but I just couldn't stick with it. It's not a habit yet, but hopefully I can make that a habit for all these upcoming events, because I feel like it's good for me to document everything, and it's also helpful for other people to share it, because all the events that I do are part of my journey to become a full-time artist, and you have to do a lot of things to do that. So I guess that means I'll see you next time.